Have you ever wondered what's really going on when a WWE superstar gets busted open in the middle of the ring? Or how they can perform some of those death-defying stunts and walk away without a scratch? Well, today we're pulling back the curtain to expose the secrets that WWE and its superstars probably hoped you'd never find out. From real-life backstage brawls to the clever production tricks that make every match a spectacle, you're about to get the truth behind the squared circle. We're not just watching the show today, we're figuring out how it's made. So stick around as we count down the biggest secrets the WWE doesn't want you to know. Let's start with a moment that always leaves fans totally speechless. You've seen it. A couple of huge superstars like Brock Lesnar and The Big Show climb to the top rope and the whole ring just collapses underneath them. It looks like a total disaster, a moment of pure, unscripted chaos. But what if I told you it was planned down to the very last detail? So, how is this incredible feat of destruction actually pulled off? The secret is all underneath the surface. A wrestling ring is built with a steel frame, covered by thick wooden boards, some padding, and then the canvas. For a big stunt like this, the production crew gets to work way before the show even starts. They can unlock the posts or use a hydraulic system to make the ring give way at the perfect moment. Other times, for stunts like the one between Taz and Bam Bam Bigelow where they crashed through the ring, a specific section of the wooden boards underneath is pre-cut or removed. A gaping hole is left, perfectly hidden by the ring canvas. The wrestlers just need to know where to land. It can be a subtle signal from the referee or even a small piece of tape on the top rope. When the superstar feels that mark, they know they're in the right spot to create a legendary but perfectly safe moment. It's a brilliant piece of coordination that turns a scripted move into what feels like a real catastrophe. While some moments are clever illusions, others are painfully real. And maybe no incident blurs the line between storyline and reality more than the bitter personal feud between Shawn Michaels and Bret the Hitman Hart. This wasn't just a rivalry for the cameras, it was one of the most infamous real-life conflicts in wrestling history. Throughout 1997, their professional jealousy and personal dislike for each other just kept growing. There were backstage arguments and even a real physical fight. All of that real-life heat made their on-screen rivalry feel incredibly believable, mostly because the hatred was genuine. The tension finally exploded at Survivor Series 1997 in what is now known as the Montreal Screwjob. Here's the situation. Bret Hart was the WWE champion and was about to leave the company for their biggest competitor, WCW. He refused to lose the title to his real-life enemy, Shawn Michaels, in his own home country of Canada. A different finish for the match was agreed upon, but WWE owner Vince McMahon was terrified Hart would show up on WCW television with the WWE Championship, so he conspired with Michaels and the referee to change the outcome without telling Hart. During the match, Michaels put Hart in his own signature move, the sharpshooter. The referee, on McMahon's orders, immediately called for the bell, saying Hart submitted, even though he clearly didn't. The betrayal was real, the fallout was massive, and it shattered the illusion of wrestling in a way nothing ever had before. It's still the defining moment where backstage politics and real hatred erupted live on television for the world to see. Nothing sells a brutal beatdown quite like the sight of blood. In the wrestling world, it's called getting color. For years, fans have argued about how it happens. Is it real? Is it fake? The answer is a little of both. The most traditional and definitely the most hardcore method is called blading. A wrestler uses a tiny concealed piece of a razor blade to make a small, shallow cut on their own forehead. The forehead bleeds a lot, so a small cut can produce a dramatic amount of blood, making a match feel way more intense. It's a dangerous practice that has become much rarer in modern WWE. A less intense method involves a blood capsule. A wrestler can hide a small capsule of non-toxic, theatrical blood in their gear or even their mouth. At just the right moment, they can bite down on it to make it look like they're bleeding from the mouth. Like when Roman Reigns was caught on camera being handed something by a referee during a beatdown to make the assault look more vicious. And for those really over-the-top moments, think back to the Attitude Era, when The Undertaker was about to perform a human sacrifice. The knife he used was, of course, a prop that had been professionally dulled. The real secret was a hidden packet of fake blood, often strapped to the wrist and painted to blend in. With a little bit of pressure, the packet bursts, and when you combine that with some clever camera angles, you get a horrifyingly convincing scene without anyone actually getting hurt. Sometimes, backstage feuds have a long history that started years before the superstars were even in a WWE locker room together. That's exactly what went down between Chris Jericho and Bill Goldberg. Their real-life issues started back when they were both in WCW. Jericho, who was a mid-card guy at the time, really wanted to have a feud with the main eventer Goldberg, but Goldberg repeatedly refused, which Jericho saw as a huge sign of disrespect. That bad blood was still there years later when Goldberg finally showed up in WWE in 2003. It didn't take long for things to boil over. Backstage, the two got into a heated argument that turned into a real fight, with reports saying that Jericho, the much smaller man, actually got the better of Goldberg before it was broken up. UE knew that fans were aware of the real-life tension, so they did turn it into an on-screen feud. It definitely added a layer of realism to their matches. But the on-screen rivalry was surprisingly short and didn't quite capture the intensity of the real thing. While Goldberg won their pay-per-view match, Jericho earned a lot of respect for his professionalism in working with someone he genuinely had a problem with. We are just getting started exposing the deepest secrets of the WWE. If you're enjoying this peek behind the curtain, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. You won't want to miss what we've got coming up next, including how wrestlers survive falls that look like they should be career-ending. Now, let's get back to it. High-risk, death-defying falls are a huge part of matches like Hell in a Cell. We see superstars like Shane McMahon plummet from terrifying heights onto what looks like the cold, hard, unforgiving concrete floor. The impact looks absolutely devastating, and you're left wondering how they're even moving. Well, the secret is that they aren't landing on concrete at all. When Shane McMahon leaped off the top of the Hell in a Cell structure at WrestleMania, it looked like he crashed directly onto the ground. In reality, a large crash pad, just like the ones Hollywood stunt performers use, was placed to break his fall. The pad was hidden underneath the black canvas around the ring, making it nearly invisible to the cameras and the live crowd. It's a classic production trick that protects the performers from serious injury while letting them create those jaw-dropping moments. This same idea applies to a lot of other props. You know that sledgehammer Triple H loves to use? While sometimes, especially in the early days, it was a real hammer and he just had incredible control, it's often a prop. The handle is real wood, but the head is made of rubber or foam, painted to look just like steel. Tables are usually made from flimsy particle board that breaks easily, and those steel chairs are designed to be light and make a loud noise without causing too much damage. It's all about making things look as painful as possible, while keeping the performers as safe as possible. Most of the time, wrestlers are professionals who can work with anyone, even if they don't like them. But every once in a while, a real-life grudge is just too much to contain, and it spills out in the ring in a very real and very ugly way. That's exactly what happened between John Bradshaw Layfield, or JBL, and the Blue Meanie at the ECW One Night Stand event in 2005. JBL apparently had a real grudge against Blue Meanie, who had publicly called him a bully. When he got his chance during a massive brawl at the end of the show, JBL decided to get some payback. Instead of throwing fake worked punches, JBL started hitting Blue Meanie with real stiff shots, busting him open for real and leaving him bloodied in the ring. This wasn't part of the show. It was a real assault. The incident caused a huge backlash backstage. To avoid a potential lawsuit and try to fix the situation, WWE actually had to hire the Blue Meanie for a short-term contract. This led to a scripted match on SmackDown, where, to the fans' delight, Meanie got his on-screen revenge against JBL. It's a rare case where WWE had to publicly address a real backstage problem and turn a legitimately ugly moment into a storyline just to resolve the conflict. One of the most terrifying matches in WWE history has to be the Buried Alive match, where the goal is to literally bury your opponent under a pile of dirt. But maybe the most extreme version was when Paul Bearer was seemingly buried in cement by The Undertaker. Fans watched in horror as a cement truck appeared to dump its contents into a glass crypt, supposedly entombing him forever. So how could anyone possibly survive that? The secret, again, is a masterpiece of production design. Paul Bearer was in a specially designed glass box. The cement that was poured on top was actually a pretty clever mixture. Only a very thin layer at the very top was real, wet cement, to sell the visual for the cameras. The rest of the gunk that filled the box was basically just watery oatmeal, which looks a lot like wet concrete but is totally harmless. And of course, the whole stunt was designed with safety in mind. The box itself had a hidden emergency release that Paul Bearer could have hit at any time if he felt like something was going wrong. There was also a hidden oxygen supply piped in. This allowed him to stay safely inside the crypt while the super dramatic scene played out on TV, creating a truly unforgettable and seemingly deadly moment that was, in reality, completely survivable. From rings that are designed to collapse on cue to real-life hatred-fueling legendary rivalries, the world of WWE is a masterclass in blending illusion with reality. We've seen how they use blading and blood capsules to create drama, how hidden crash pads save careers, and how real-life fights can become front-page storylines. The secrets behind the curtain show an incredible amount of planning, creativity, and calculated risk that goes into every single show. The superstars and the production crew are artists, stunt performers, and storytellers, all dedicated to creating the spectacle that we love to watch. But we've barely even scratched the surface. What did you think was the most shocking secret we revealed today? And what other WWE mysteries are you dying to have us expose? Let us know in the comments which WWE secrets you want us to look into next. And if you haven't already, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another look behind the curtain.